Hey, friends, it's Lynn Lindbergh, your bad couch guru, and I just had to bring back Jaes Gruenke. Jay, you're the founder of the Balanced Runner, is that correct? Yeah.
That's
So,
correct.
so folks, look back on previous episodes. You'll see one called "The Balanced Runner" with Jay Grunke, Jay the Human, and this one, "Running Myths," because there are so many myths out there about who can run, what running's about, and so I wanted Jay to just give us what she sees as the top three running myths to help inspire you to think maybe you actually could try being a runner. So, Jay, welcome back to the Couch Active Podcast for a third time.
Thank you very much. I'm getting very
Oh, well,
comfortable
good.
here.
Welcome home. Yes. So there's a couple of myths. One is the pounding myth, and then I'll let you just take it off from there. What are things we have wrong about running?
A lot of people are afraid of the pounding. A lot of people's doctors tell them to be afraid of the
Mm-hmm.
pounding, and even their Pilates and yoga teachers and whatever. It's supposedly the main thing about running that's bad for you. But the fact is, pounding is what makes running work, or not pounding like you might experience it or fear it, that like your foot makes a loud thud and you feel like you land really
Mm-hmm.
heavily. But this landing and compression is what creates running. And in fact, we can't run on the moon because there's not enough
Mm-hmm.
gravity. So you can't get enough compression when you land. So if you think of a spring, when you squeeze that spring, you compress it, you store energy, and then when you let it go, boing, that energy is released into
Mm-hmm.
movement. And that's the same way that running works. So when you're organizing yourself well for running, it's as stress-free as just squeezing the spring and letting it go. And there's no loud sound and there's no thud. And it's not even, it's the opposite of not bad for you. It's actually quite good for you. And long-term studies following runners show that actually they stay healthier than their non-running
Yeah. Oh,
peers.
and so it's similar to like a lot of people say, don't do CrossFit because you'll get injured in CrossFit. You'll blow out your back. And really, it comes down to it's not the sport itself, it's the sport done incorrectly. Would that be fair
Yeah,
to say in this case?
that would be
Yeah.
fair. That would be fair. And then you make it worse by being afraid of pounding. Like everything that you would do because you're afraid, putting all sorts of cushion in your shoes and orthotics and just running scared, of that.
Ah.
All of that makes
Oh,
it
wow.
worse.
Wow. Okay. So
So
watch it. Okay. So you do it right. You don't need all those cushy shoes and all that stuff. And you're going to be able to, but you got to learn how it's education. Got to learn how to do it right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be afraid, just learn the
I
skill.
love it. Okay. Myth number two. Tell us about that.
Myth number two, core
Uh huh.
strength and core stability. So, we live in the age of core stability. Different people mean different things by that, but popularly, it's people interpret it as what it sounds like, core held
Mm hmm.
still. And that is the opposite of what a runner needs, because we got two legs, neither leg is in the middle, neither comes to the middle when you're on it, and you're only on one leg at a
Uh huh.
time. And so you have to shift your weight side to side, and
Mm hmm.
rotationally. If you think about those quote unquote posable action figures you may have played with as a child, and how it was very hard to get them to stand in any position, right? They would just fall over. Like if you're careful, you could find one arrangement of arms and legs where they could balance, but if you did anything else, they just fell. And that's because their torso was fused. That's so don't be like them.
Don't be a Barbie doll.
Don't have a fused torso. It's meant to
Because
move.
I didn't have action figures. I had the Barbie dolls, or maybe the Skipper.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
but they
principle,
would,
though.
yeah, they would
Yeah.
never stand up, especially with their heels on.
Oh, well, that's a whole other
That's a whole nother
issue.
podcast. So core stability. So you were moving, and there's nuances and tricks to that. So again, all about education.
Yep. Learn the skill.
Great, great. Okay, and then number three.
Number three is that good running form or good running technique thinking is hard. It takes a lot of discipline. You have to get strong before you're strong enough to have good form. And it's going to feel harder before you're strong enough for it to feel easy. All of that is nonsense. Good running form means using your body the way it really evolved to run, which makes it the easiest option, not the hardest, right? It's easiest to use the equipment the way it really works. Anything else involves fighting yourself and extra effort. So it feels easier right away, not later when you're strong enough, because if you have to get stronger, it's not easier, it's
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah. So basically with that education for learning proper form, if somebody can help me with that, immediately my running or jogging or whatever I want to call it, if you're jogging, you're a real runner, it gets easier immediately.
Yes,
And
immediately.
that actually brings back a memory of I've experienced that, even though I'm one of those who says, "Oh, I'm not a good runner," um, and I have the stats to prove it. I actually took a running course once from he's from Seattle, the ultra marathoner guy, and now he has a podcast and he's a big name, but 15 years ago he wasn't as big.
Well, I don't know Seattle. It's not Scott Jurek,
Yes,
is it?
it was Scott Jurek.
Oh, is it? I almost said that, and then I thought he was from like Minnesota or
No, it was
something.
Scott Jurek.
And you know something interesting is Scott Jurek has done Feldenkrais.
Oh,
So there's this guy Jack Heggie who's unfortunately no longer with us, but he was a Feldenkrais practitioner and wrote a book called Running with the Whole Body. And like those rare few people at the top of the field, they have read that book. They have done the lessons in
they
that
have.
book.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah,
So
it
yeah.
was. It was Scott Jurek, and it was before he was really really big. But I do remember
Wow.
he was. We're like, oh, big name coach. We're gonna.
Cool. Very
Yeah, he
cool.
was great. He was great. And I do remember that, like within 10 minutes of being outside, of like all of a sudden, it started feeling easier, and I was just amazed. It was really really awesome, and I just didn't feel like I had to fight it so much.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think every runner has had at least one run that felt like that. And that's what we're all trying to get back to, and everyone can.
So Jay has a. Can you tell us where we can find your 1 week free get started guide?
Yep. It's called the Mind Your Running Challenge. And you can find it on my website, balancedrunner.com. So if you go to the blog, it's to the right of any blog page on a computer. It says start here. If you're on your phone, then you'll just scroll to the bottom and you'll see it start here. Or you can just Google the Mind Your Running Challenge, and honestly, that'll get you there too.
Mind your running. It reminds me of Mind the Gap. I don't know why. Mind the Gap.
Exactly.
Oh, well, Jay, this has been fantastic. And thanks for coming back a couple of times. Folks, if you have been inspired by Jay and you do her 1 week trial or get in touch with her, let me know. I want to know. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give this
Awesome.
a try and see, even if with all my wacky health stuff, if I can make a go of it. Thank you so much. And folks, if you haven't already, check out the other 2 podcasts. We've had her on 3 times now.
Thank you, Lynn.
Exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch is the hardest thing we do. And so, Couch to Active has an all-new website to match our all-new world we live in now. Head over to couchtoactive.com and finish step number 1 today. Did you know that Couch to Active has an app? It's the easiest way to keep track of and follow the Couch to Active podcast. So head on over to your app store, and it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone, a tablet, or an Android device. Search for Couch to Active, that's TO Active. Download the app and check it out. Bye-bye now.